In just the last 48 hours, something pretty incredible has been happening all around the world. We've seen a bunch of seemingly random events, a daring rescue on a frozen lake in New Jersey, a brand new rule for airlines over in Australia. On the surface, they have nothing to do with each other, but they're actually all weaving together this powerful new story about our relationship with animals. And today, we're going to unravel it.
So it all really boils down to this one question. Can a dog actually be a member of the family? And look, this isn't just some late-night philosophical debate anymore. The answer to this is now being fought for on dangerously thin ice, it's being argued in courtrooms, and it's even being formalized at international borders. Let's start with where that bond gets tested the most.
Okay, so we're going to dive right into the most personal part of this story, where that incredible connection between a person and their animal is pushed to the absolute limit.
I want you to just picture this for a second. It's the day after Christmas. A dog is trapped, totally terrified, out in the middle of a frozen lake. You can see the ice is cracking. And without a moment's hesitation, a police officer gets down on his stomach and just starts gliding across that treacherous surface, risking his own life to bring that animal back to safety. It's this amazing act of heroism, and it just shows you how deep that personal bond can really run.
Now, while that physical rescue was happening, a completely different kind of bravery was on display just one state over. This fight wasn't about saving a life from immediate physical danger. No, this was about changing the very legal definition of what that life means to us.
And this is the core of that groundbreaking legal battle. A lawyer in New York is actually suing the IRS. Her argument? That her golden retriever, Finnegan, should count as a tax dependent. And her logic is pretty simple, right? She spends over $5,000 a year on his care, and he's completely reliant on her. This case, it's not really just about one dog. It's challenging the entire legal definition of what a family is. And if she wins, it could change everything for millions of us who own pets. So this really intense, personal bond, it's not just a private feeling we all have anymore. It is actively pushing our institutions to fundamentally change their rules. Let's see how this is building, and we'll start with what's happening down under in Australia. This bond is now causing a huge shift in entire industries. I mean, check this out. In Australia, new rules now let small pets fly in the cabin on some airlines. And the response was immediate. It was massive. In the very first holiday season, 1 out of every 5 pet owners chose to fly with their furry companions. This isn't just some new perk. This is the entire travel market reshaping itself around our pets. So as our pets basically become global travelers, governments are starting to take notice. But here's the thing, not everyone is making it easier. On the complete other side of the world, China is responding to this very same trend by making the whole process way more formal and, well, bureaucratic.
I mean, just look at the logistics that are involved now. If you want to take a pet out of China, you need a mandatory microchip, you need a final clinical scan just days before you fly, and they're advising people to start the whole process 6 to 8 months in advance. Something that used to be relatively simple, moving with your pet, is now a major administrative project.
But all this growing global demand, this really intense love that we have for our pets, it has a dark side, a dark reflection, really. And it's fueling a dangerous consequence that law enforcement all around the world is now having to tackle head-on.
Take a look at this number. Just let it sink in for a second. 19,977. That's not a measure of how many pets people own. That is the number of live animals seized in one single global operation targeting the illegal pet trade.
This was from Interpol's Operation Thunder. It was a massive global crackdown that led to 365 arrests, and the details are just horrifying. In India, authorities found over 5,000, let me say that again, 5,000 red-eared slider turtles crammed into a single suitcase, all of them destined for the black market just to meet a growing demand.
And here it is. This is the connection that brings our whole story full circle. Interpol states it clearly. The same public demand for pets, especially the exotic ones, is exactly what these criminal groups are exploiting for profit. So the same love that drives a hero onto thin ice is the very same force, when it gets twisted, that fills a suitcase with suffering animals.
So in just 48 hours, we've seen it. We've seen how our love for animals can inspire incredible heroism. It can challenge our laws, it can reshape entire industries, and, tragically, it can even fuel a criminal underworld. Our passion for our pets is clearly this powerful world-changing force. So the question this leaves us with is, as we build this new world for them, how do we make sure we're actually protecting them in it?